Welcome back to Broadway World's Next on Stage, sponsored by Broadway Records. I'm your host, Richard Ridge, and tonight we announce the top 5 of our high school edition. Our top 5 tonight received the most votes during the past week of voting, which opened on June 15th and closed last night at midnight. You voted them into our top 5, and now our judges will provide valuable feedback for them to use in their next performances, which will be voted on by the public next week. The judges will also review the performances from the bottom 3 contestants who didn't make it into the top 5, giving one of them a chance to compete for a spot in the top 3 and for your votes. We'll be showing shortened clips of the performances this week, but if you want to see their entire performances, head on over to broadwayworld.com/nextonstage. Now, let's welcome back our judges. From Aladdin, it's Ariel Jacobs. From Wicked, it's Jackie Burns. From Kinky Boots, it's Kyle Taylor Parker. And joining us this week, please say hello to Broadway's power couple, Orfeh and Andy Carl. Now, let's review our prizes. Both the college and high school winner will receive a prize pack with merchandise from the Broadway World Theater Shop, CDs from Broadway Records, $1,000 to a charity of their choosing, and both first place winners will have the opportunity to record a single to be released by Broadway Records, with the profits from the recording being donated to the Actors Fund. And it gets even better. Winners will also receive a virtual voice lesson with Matt Farnsworth prior to the recording of your single, a session with Telsey and Company's Rachel Hoffman to hone in your audition skills, and a free subscription to Broadway World's education online classes in singing, acting, and dancing worth over $1,200. So now let's kick off this week's top 5. Up first, we have Hannah Tamanti. This week, Hannah is singing Crossing a Bridge from Anastasia. Judges, enjoy.
Look at the sky, look at the water, somebody's bridge, somebody's daughter. Who could have known I'd be alone crossing this bridge? Boats heading in, somebody calling, sun going down, shadows are falling, shimmering view, dangerous too, crossing a bridge, halfway between where I've been and where I'm going, in between wondering why and finally knowing. Thousands of lights shining below me, somebody waits, somebody know me, maybe we're sharing this beautiful night, me on the left bank, you on the right, almost inside, crossing a bridge. Every light is like a promise. Every light could be a clue. One of them might be
Great.
Okay, judges, Hannah, let me start with Jackie.
I just thought she was out of this world. She has taken so many of the notes over the course of this whole thing, and she just like knocked it out of the park. I just thought, and her voice is so beautiful, and she looked so gorgeous, and her framing was so great, and she's such a good storyteller. I just thank you for listening to all of us and applying the notes, because that's all we can ask for, right? And being open to our suggestions. And I thought she just did such a beautiful job.
Great. Orfe.
Well, first of all, you have all been obviously giving really stellar notes because that was near flawless. I mean, I don't really have much to say other than it was pitch perfect. Like, that's the kind of pitch a person prays for when they're singing. There was not one thing that was anywhere sharp or flat or anywhere around. So that was perfect. I don't even have any kind of critique. What I would say, because she is such an amazing singer and her pitch is so freaking insane. Don't be afraid of the vibrato, because I feel like she was waiting for the vibrato and keeping very straight tones, which I love. I'm a straight tone gal myself, but I think that she can afford to start the vibrato a little bit earlier on the long end notes, because it's perfect, and that will make it that much more perfect if that's even necessary. I am very impressed. Very
Beautiful.
impressed. Yeah.
Andy.
Yeah, at this point, it's just what constructive criticism could I possibly give? That's, someone who sounds like that and is so amazing and such a great actor. Telling the story is there. The notes and the vocals are there. The only 2 cents I could give is maybe a little bit more legato in the beginning. I know that you're breaking up sentences, and that's what I want to hear. But I wanted to hear da 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 da. Fall in love with the phrasing, and yes, keeps telling the story. But again, that's a very small note for such a great performance.
Perfect. Ariel.
Hannah did such a wonderful job this week. I loved her storytelling, and her voice is so beautiful, like everyone's already been saying. And this week I really loved that I was able to see her in an environment that she created. So I felt like she was really on that bridge. I felt like she was seeing everything around her. So that was a really awesome step up from what we've been seeing. So that was amazing to see. I think that if there's one thing that she can look at for next time, is always being aware and conscious of where you're breathing. So a lot of times, if you're breathing in the middle of a phrase, it might stop the thought. And you want to make sure that you breathe at the beginning of a phrase, and you can even plan that out and choreograph where am I going to take an inhalation, so that I can make sure that the thought that I'm saying carries through to the very end of that thought without having to take a breath. So that's one thing that she can look at for next time. And also just making sure that every time she breathes, it's a relaxed breath. Every breath can be a reset for the body as a singer. So for every time she takes a breath, allow her body to release instead of having any sort of breath tension up in her chest area. Breath is such an important thing. But great job, Hannah.
Perfect. Kyle.
So great. Wow. She really took all of those notes. Definitely environment. The moment before was so good. It seemed like you had a great as if. There was a journey with the song. You've been listening. Congratulations. If I were being nitpicky, something that we've talked a lot about on the show is how to feel more spontaneous and more natural when we're singing. And especially when you sing as well as you sing, sometimes it can dehumanize you, and people can't separate the acting from the singing and the performance. One of the things you can do is make those T's softer, make them a D. There was one word you sang, beautiful, and I think that is like when we're gorgeously singing, we do that. But if you can make it more casual, beautiful, that might help. But really, that's being so picky. Great work.
So
Great. Okay, up next is Terence. If we never said goodbye.
We lost your sound for a minute.
What's that? Did I skip somebody?
No.
Your sound cut out and came back.
Oh, you can't hear me?
No, we can, but it went
We
away
can
for a
now.
second. Yeah.
Richie, we just lost your sound for a sec. Can you just reintroduce Terence for us?
Yeah, this is what happens with StreamYard. Here we go, kids. Okay. Up next is Terence Bagan. Terence is singing As If We Never Said Goodbye from Sunset Boulevard. Judges, enjoy.
We'll have magic in the making. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. to be alone. That's all in the past. This world's waited long enough. I come home at last, and this time will be bigger and brighter than we knew it. So watch me fly. We all know I can do it. And I stop, my hands were shaking. Has there ever been a moment with so much to live for? The whispered conversations in overcrowded hallways. So much to say, not just today, but always. We'll have early morning madness. We'll have magic in the making. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. Everything's as if we never said goodbye. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye.
Wow.
Yay! Yes, 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 yes.
Wow.
yes.
Wow. Wow.
So good.
Amazing.
Yeah, well, let's talk. These are high school students. Let's
No.
Orphe. Orphe, what did you think? Let's hear about Terence.
I'm not an easy one to get. I shed a tear, and I've been trying to make sure my mascara doesn't run down my face this entire time. Terence is the kind of singer that I really enjoy because he's dangerous, because you don't know what's going to happen. So when he hit that last note, I was so doing this, and it was flawless. You know what it is about Terence? Terence is also a definite pop singer as well. So he straddles both worlds flawlessly. I'm going to keep saying that word because that was as near a flawless performance as I would like. I'm at a loss for words, which is very rare for me. But that was magnificent. It was perfect. And again, because I feel forced to say anything even remotely critical, I want Terence to be as completely involved in how wonderful he is at the beginning of the song as he was at the end. Because there were a little nerves at the beginning, and I could see them and I could feel them. If he could somehow, and I know it's not easy, it's a lot easier said than done, if he could get out of the freaking, literally go for it from jump, if he could do that moment that he did at the end from the top of the song, we're all done. We're all done. It's over.
Kyle.
So good. The love is real for Terence. We have been fans this whole process and watching him grow. And the song selection each week has been so great. Last week we talked about really being clear and finding the stakes to match with the vocal. And I felt like that definitely happened with this song. I guess if I could say, I'm the same with Orphe. There's nothing really critical to say. I admire you. I cannot wait to someday do a show with you. You are great. The world is waiting for you. So instead of giving something critical, I'll say here's something to think about as you continue to grow in your singing and everything. I want you to keep working on getting so clear about what you want to communicate through the song. there's the lyric, the melody, and then the artist. And the people who can find that pocket to like leave themselves in a melody, those are the stars. And I think you can do that. So keep moving in that direction.
Beautiful. Ariel, for you.
I can't say enough about Terence. Every single week, I hear him sing, and I can't breathe because I am so mesmerized. I feel like we are witnessing the birth of a star, and he is everything that everyone hopes for in a performance, in a performer. Gosh, yeah, the stakes this week were so there. The high stakes. I felt like it was so meaningful for him every moment of the song, and even just, you know, the way that he delivered some words. I felt like he gave weight to particular words that I felt like he gave them meaning more than just what they were on the page. I could feel like he felt them deeply, which was so beautiful to watch. So I think just keep going and keep trusting yourself, Terence, because like Orfe said, there were a few moments where I felt like, just a couple moments where I felt like I could see you, there was a little bit of awareness where you're like aware of yourself singing and watching yourself singing, and that little bit is enough to make an audience member take a moment in their mind to be like, oh, right, I'm watching an actor, I'm not watching this character. So we want to make sure that every single moment that you're performing, all of the thoughts in your head are your character's thoughts. So make sure that the character dialogue is in your mind. So if it's your thoughts being like, is this going okay? Then it's going to throw us out. So just make sure that you're staying present in the story. Besides that, your performance, your voice, everything is just so good. So keep it up.
Beautiful. Andy, thoughts on Terence?
Yeah, beautiful. Obviously, applaud you. Great. Please come to Broadway. Give us, your talent, for God's sake. It was because it's Norma Desmond's song, correct? Yeah. So he chose a different gender song. So therefore, you sort of have to. It chose sort of like non-conventional casting for that, which I think is beautiful. I think we need to do that. I try to do that. I try to choose songs that really speak to me, and I can speak through them. And so, but when it's placed on you, it gives a different energy. It gives a different. You have to come up with a thought process and what am I trying to say? Am I being Norma Desmond, or am I being my true self and speaking a true story through that? Whatever that story is, you don't have to tell us. Just choose, and that'll connect you to the song deeply. I also just as I was listening to it, it's like it sounded like such a great standard, like Sammy Davis Jr. or Sinatra sings. Go listen to Sammy Davis sing "What Kind of Fool Am I?" The phrasing he uses in that, and also he's a singer. He's a standard singer, but he also envelops his heart in it, and it comes straight through his voice. That's the gift that you have. Go listen to Sammy Davis Jr. sing that song. You'll understand the connection of emotion and phrasing and beauty. Also the turn, which is "I'll be home at last." Hold that note because it's such a great key. I don't know if it's a key change, but it goes into this great part of the song. Keep that note. Don't riff off of it. Just go straight through it. But beautiful, honestly. Those are all just nitpicky things.
That's great. Jackie.
I agree with what everybody said. I mean, he's just it's just stupid. I find myself the whole time being like, I had to put my jaw back up. His tone is so beautiful, and he's just so good. He's just so yummy. If I were to say anything, I had the same thought as Orfe, is that, the beginning, we could see your nerves betrayed you. And that really comes from your eyes, right? They're the window to our soul. It's how we see what you're seeing and what you're feeling. And if you go back and watch your performance, you can see that moment where you clicked in and you were present, and you'll just see it's just a slight eye where you don't really know what you're doing, and you're watching yourself, like Ariel said. And once you start out from the gate being confident and telling that story, the world is your oyster. It's just, you're amazing.
That's terrific. Some of the judges said this last week, everything is self-tapes now. So the point is you can shoot it and then go back and watch it and really critique yourself at this point, because this is all the top 5 going into the top 3. So I think maybe record it, look at it and say, maybe I should redo this again to like fix this little thing to make everything perfect. Would you all agree with that? So
But
judges,
that was, yeah.
yeah, they're really, I mean,
Oh my
like,
God.
like I can't say it enough. These are high school kids. I wish Andy and Orpe, I wish you had seen them at the very beginning. They were all top of their game then, but they all have been listening to all of this critique that everyone has given each week. They've taken these notes and gone back and perfected these things
It's
to what you're seeing.
unbelievable. And I
Sounds
know where
like
I'm
it.
getting my next
Yeah.
vocal lessons from.
I know.
Totally. Well, judges, we are halfway through already. Up next is Amanda Squickle. She is back to sing It's Quite Uptown from Hamilton. Judges, enjoy.
If I could trade his life for mine, he'd be standing here right now, and he would smile, and that would be enough. I don't pretend to know the challenges we're facing. I know there's no replacing what we've lost, and you need time, but I'm not afraid. I know who I married. Just let me stay here by your side, and that would be enough. You would like it uptown. It's quiet uptown. The unimaginable. Taking in the sights of the city. Look around, look around, look around. There are moments that the words don't reach. There's a grace too powerful to name. We push away what we could never understand. We push away the unimaginable. I am standing in the garden, standing there side by side. She takes his hand. It's quite uptown. Forgiveness. Can you imagine? Forgiveness. Can you imagine? Look around, look around. The unimaginable.
Okay, judges, Amanda, let's start with Andy. Thoughts on Amanda?
Amanda, I want to listen to you all the time. I want your album. I want to watch you on Broadway. Someone should put you up there as quickly as possible. Your tone and your phrasing is, I don't know. It's one of those things when it was like when I saw Orphe for the first time, and I was like, oh my God. And I immediately sort of just, talent crush. So I got one for you. So I have no notes. Please pass on. Go.
Fabulous. Kyle.
So good. Such great growth. I think the challenge last week was to choose a song that really forced you to act a bit more and show your humanity. So great. So now we can talk. That tone, stunning. It never stops. Something I think that you can think about moving forward is now just trusting yourself and trusting the circumstance of the song. Kind of what we talked about with Terence last week. I think that when the voice gets so thrilling, it's that cross between a concert performance and a musical theater performance. We want to really enjoy it. That works sometimes, but challenge yourself to remember, who am I singing to? Is it a full audience of people, or is it this one man who's broken my heart and I'm choosing to forgive him? Really go back to the stakes in the story, and it's only the payoff is gonna be so great.
Great. Ariel.
Great job. Yes, I definitely felt exactly the same way. Everybody's saying your voice is incredible, like always incredible. We also talked about not singing with a microphone this week, and I didn't see one, although it did kind of hear similar to the way the microphone was before. So I'm not sure if there was like a vocal effect happening to make it sound more magnified. But regardless, it just sounded stunning. I would say that if anything, like what Kyle was talking about, the one thing that I was wondering the whole time as well is, do you have a clear picture of who you're talking to, and have you created a history in your mind, in your imagination for your relationship with this person? Making sure that your storytelling is directed to a specific person, and that for every single lyric that you sing, you know why you're saying it, you know what you mean, and you can see their reaction that propels you to say the next line. So one thing I like to do that might help is, especially for a song like this, where there's a lot of little phrases that pop in, but it's not a lot of full thoughts, full long thoughts. So one thing that might help you is to write out all of the lyrics on a piece of paper with space in between every line, and actually imagine what is the person saying, and make it a conversation in your head. Write in the other person's lines in between every single one of your lines, so that you can hear what they're saying and respond to something in those moments where you don't have anything to sing. So that might be something to help you create more of an interaction and make the song come alive.
Beautiful. Orphe.
You know, I'm so moved that I'm so rendered quiet. Now you know how to get me quiet. Show me a whole bunch of really talented singers and I'll just shut up. I am so astounded by the clarity of tone that I've heard today in just 3 singers in. I don't even understand what's happening to my life right now. I'm having a serious identity crisis at this point. I don't know what to do with myself. But I mean, I'm going to be hearing that over and over in my head. That was like a chime tone that she just like smacked me over the head with. And I'm not going to recover for a while. So I'm going to need to just go in and think about that. But it was really magnificent. I mean, I understand what every one of you are saying as far as like really being able to focus in on who you're singing to, what you're singing about. And it's very hard, which is what I thought Terence was really good at. But the quality and the dead on center of those notes put me out of my mind. I don't know what to do with that. So I just thought that was magnificent. I don't have anything whatsoever critical to say. I can't even make one up. I made one up for the other 2 contestants. I can't make one up here. I'm too upset. I'm too verklempt.
Don't be.
I agree with what everyone's saying. I had asked you to not sing with a microphone this week, and I appreciate you taking that note and being able to then fully see you. Your self-taping is a dream. That backdrop, the lighting, the framing, your makeup, everything is like, you just pop and it's just wonderful. So like everybody take notes from her self-taping, because I think it's wonderful and so clean to watch. Your voice is magnificent. I just think you're a dream. I'm very, very big fan of yours. So yeah.
That's terrific. Okay, Franco Tomato is the next contestant, moving on to the top 5. This week, Franco is singing Beautiful City from Godspell. Judges, enjoy Franco.
We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. We may not reach the ending, but we can start slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now, we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but finally a city of men. A city of men.
Wow.
Okay, judges. Kyle, I'll start with you. Franco.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So beautiful, so beautiful. That tone is so warm. I mean, it makes me a better singer listening to you sing. The simplicity, the storytelling. So really, again, same theme. I'm just giving you some things to think about that might help you. I think that there should always be a reason to sing a song. And sometimes a way to really get your point across is something I like to call the secret of life. I think that singers are really special in that they give us messages, they give us hope and inspiration, and this is one of those songs. And so if you can find a moment in the song where you, the singer, actor, storyteller, you are giving the secret to life that you know, it'll change the way you sing a thing. And I think for you that happens on the bridge. When you say, when your hope is this and that, the other, that is the thing you know for sure. And so it will change the way you sing it. And that's the reason why this song must be sung. I think that might help you. That's all I have.
Beautiful. Ariel.
I'm blown away. Franco, your voice is butter. I feel like every single week I want to drown in your voice. What's funny is you kept saying we can build a city of angels, and I'm like, but you're an angel. I'm being sung to by angels right now. I feel like I was surrounded by angels the whole time. His presence was very clear, and he was so there. I felt like I was very blown away by his ability to really make me feel like he was not watching himself at all. He was not nervous. I felt like what we were talking about a little bit with Terence about there was, moments in Terence's performance where you could feel in his eyes that he was like kind of aware of himself singing or wondering if it was going well. But this performance, I didn't feel that at all with Franco. His ability to be fully invested and see all the people that he's talking to, I felt like he created a beautiful environment and was very clear about who he was talking to. And his breath support too, like when he held that one note into the next phrase and kept going, it's like he could just sing anything, and he can sing to me forever. I don't really have anything to say that's critical. I think just keep going with your storytelling, keep going in using your voice to continue to express and communicate what your character's going through. Stay present and keep who you're talking to alive. And like Kyle said, finding the meaning and the seriousness behind certain moments of the song. But just keep at it. It's amazing.
Beautiful. Andy.
Yes. Wow. Still, I'm just blown away. Every single singer here is really blowing me away. Another talent crush. Sorry, Franco, I got one for you. I'm gonna borrow, like, because what Ariel was saying to Amanda about writing down the lyrics and expressing an emotion through, or finding your story through each line, because like many songs that are in this sort of pop area, we get a lot of repeat lyrics. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. So it's repeating lyrics and finding an intention in the next phrase. So yes, we can. Somebody isn't listening. Yes, we can. It's initiating the next part of that phrase, which will also give yourself to tell the story of life, as was said, and to create a through line through that. That's really all. It's like, but I want your album. I want you on Broadway. Please come soon.
Perfect. Orfeh.
You know, Franco has one of those sweet, dulcet tenors that people would fight for. You know what I'm saying? It's just so clear and limpid and joyous. And I concur with everything everyone has said. And again, I'm just left in tatters at how magnificent everybody is. I don't even know how to, I suck as a judge because I'm like, everybody wins. That's basically what happens on my end. But the thing with Franco, I think, and gosh, this is such a nitpick. Again, I feel forced to say anything even remotely nitpicky, but literally, you can take more risks. You have the capacity. You have the voice. You have the chops. You have everything. I haven't been here yet, so I don't know what the parameters are and what's been going on up until this moment, but you can take big sweeping risks because you have the chops. And I want to hear the most from you, and the biggest and the baddest and just crazy. Go off.
Great. Jackie.
Does that make sense?
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
I wish you saw his last week's performance, because
I wish I did too.
Difference between last week to this week. Thank you. Like, you just showed a completely different side of yourself. I literally, your voice in my headphones is just like the gift that keeps on giving. So, like, yes, thank you so much. Again, if I were to have to nitpick, which I don't want to, but the only thing that I think dissipated your performance in the slightest was the movement. And because it is a picture-based medium and you're close, it kind of felt like a little bit of like maybe a little seasicky. So like that was my only thing, of just being clear about what you're talking about. And when you are talking to different people, just being clear with being intentional with your movements, rather than it being, that's the only thing that came across as a little bit of nervous energy to me. But other than that, I just think you're sensational.
Our last contestant in the high school top 5 was saved from the bottom 3 last time. It's Robert Montano. This week he is singing "This Is the Moment" from Jekyll and Hyde. Judges, enjoy Robert.
This is the moment when all I've done, all of my dreaming, scheming and screaming, become one. This is the day. See it sparkle and shine, when all I've lived for becomes mine. For all these years I faced the world alone, and now the time has come to prove to them I made it on my own. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckoned, I never reckoned second best. I won't look down, I must not fall. Moment for moment, this is the moment of them all. This is the moment, damn all the odds. This day or never, I'll sing forever with the gods. back. I must not fall. This is the moment, the sweetest moment, the greatest moment of them all.
Oh yeah. Okay. Listen, Kyle. Let's start with you, Robert.
So great, so glorious. That is a glorious, glorious, glorious instrument you have. So great, and welcome back. If I could give you any pointers to think about, having such a big voice, I think figuring out how to build so you don't give it all away at once because you have such a big journey. And I feel like this song is filled with tiny swells, like Where All My Scheming, screaming. The third one would be like going to the biggest point, finding those, peaks and valleys. I think you can start at a 6, go to a 7, go to a 7 at the bridge and intensity with the vocal power, and then a 10 at the big final chorus. So it makes each of those moments momentous. You know what I mean? That's all I have.
Perfect. Ariel.
Momentous, that's good.
The new word, momentous. I love that.
This is the moment. Okay, this is your moment. Robert, wow, I am so excited that we saved you from last week when we bumped you up to the top 5 because I am blown away by your performance and your power and your expression, your voice, your breath control, everything about that. My jaw is on the floor. I don't know if anybody else experienced that. So congratulations. Yes, about what Kyle was saying about making sure you can build the song. The other thing that you can think about is I was very impressed with your connection to the person that you were talking to, and I felt like you had high stakes and you felt like you were very clear in what you were saying to this person and that you wanted something specific. One other way that you might be able to create even just more of a sense of a full character who's alive and in the moment and trying to find the thoughts that you want to say. That's the other thing. Like, you don't want to, it's good to have a strong connection to the person, but you also want to make sure that every line you say is coming to you in the moment. So it's okay sometimes to disengage from looking directly at that person so that you can find the words, even though they're lyrics and you know, as an actor, you know what you're going to say, but as a character, you don't. So trying to make sure that you can break away from the person you're talking to and, find the words and discover the thing that you want to say before you go back and say it to that person, or even in the middle of phrases, will just make you even more alive to the audience and for yourself to allow you to go on the full journey as the character. So I'm so excited to see you on Broadway. So congratulations and keep going.
Orphe, what are your thoughts on Robert?
Well, I've had the great pleasure of hearing Andy Carl sing that song many, many, many times. So once it started, I was slightly nervous because I thought, Andy Carl sang it. And all of a sudden, I got ripples of chills all over. And I very much am in line with what KTP said. It is a song that you could start at 110, and then where do you have to go? Like, where can you go when that is one of the biggest bombastic songs ever in musical theater canon, So what do? You do what KTP said, and you just don't give it away at the top. You have to build and build because the voice is there. There's no doubt. I still have the chills thinking about it. And then the breath. Can we all discuss how long he held the last note?
Yeah.
Is anyone going to talk about that? Am I
And
the
how
only one who's
clear.
like
It was
starting
totally,
I will. I'll talk about it.
Dead
I'm like,
center of the note.
and never even vacillated this much from the perfection of the middle. I'm obsessed with this concept. So, but I think that's the thing. I think Robert is like a couple of the other singers. Trust yourself. You have the chops. You have it. It's there. Just start to nuance it. Nuance is very, very difficult in life, in singing, in acting, in performance, in entertainment. It's all about the nuance. It's all about the stuff we don't see and hear. Right, KTP? You were saying that before. It's like that's what you're not showing us is what we inherently feel, and that's what takes us on the journey with you. Because the notes are there, they're still there. I'm still getting chills, and he's still singing that end note somewhere. I know he is.
So
I don't have anything else to say. I'm done.
That's great.
I'm
Jackie,
leaving.
I am such a fan of yours, and to watch your growth from the very first time we saw you and you sang "Waving Through a Window," and we had given you that note of wanting to see your performance rather than seeing some, you kind of recreating something Ben Platt had already done with the role, and now getting to see your journey and watch you as a performer has been so thrilling and exciting for me to watch. I think your voice is out of control, amazing. And it's one of those voices that you just have chords of steel and it's just going to be there. You're going to wake up and you're going to be able to sing like that, and you're going to sing like that forever. And just to echo what everybody else was saying is that Frank Wildhorn's songs are so hard, and the fact that they lull you into wanting to sing at a 10 and then do 8 different key changes where now all of a sudden you're supposed to be singing at a 20 when you can only go to a 10. So you've got to hold something back, or then you run out of gas. And us as an audience member, it makes your those big notes that you sing less exciting, even though they shouldn't be, because we've already heard it so many other times, right? So like holding something back and having that discipline of only giving 90% when you want to give 100 is such a big payoff, and make the audience come to you, right? When you're that amazing, because you are that amazing. So thank you.
Beautiful. Andy, when you were setting up, Orphe said, you've sung this song. I've heard you sing this song too. I mean, give us your thoughts, Robert, singing this.
Oh God, I just, I had all this anxiety from doing matinees with that song. That song is so big, especially that last note, which, I mean, you killed. It was absolutely amazing. And I'm so I love my guys who have that big open chest that can just hold notes that long. I've seen people fail at that, and it's like, oh man, he almost had it. But I mean, you killed it. And that's one of the things that's very special about what you do as a singer. You're going to be able to hold those long notes out. Probably people are going to your other castmates are going to get angry at you for holding it too long. They got to get home. They're like, can you just not hold the song? And the conductor is going to be like, you got that. It's so special. I'm just gonna piggyback on what everybody else said. It's the beginning of the song is obviously it needs to be not at a 10, and the rest does. How do you do that? You have to remember that the importance of finding what this moment just happened. This is what I did on stage in Media, Pennsylvania many years ago in a small theater, singing "This Is the Moment" with a Madonna mic. It's like I just discovered Eureka. I just discovered something. Is this the thing that's going to change the world? This is it. This is in the palm of my hand. Then this is the moment. My final test. Da, 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 da. I'm singing here, and then everybody. This is the moment. Da, da. That's when the keychain happened, and you let it rip, because before that is still the discovery. The last chunk of it is for the exclamation to the audience.
Thank you, Andy Carl. That was very helpful.
Andy Carl. All the folks this week have been really, really succinct. Well, when we come back, our judges will see performances from our bottom 3 performers, who will then battle it out for a spot in the top 5.
Woo!
Welcome back. The judges will now watch performances from the bottom 3 performers who didn't make it into the top 5. The judges can unanimously decide to allow one of these contestants to move forward in the competition. So, up first, it's Molly Dubner, who is back singing On the Steps of the Palace from Into the Woods. Judges, enjoy Molly. Okay, next is Jack Ducat singing Disappear from the Burnt Part Boys. Judges, enjoy.
There's a life I'm told to lead. Push through another year. I stick with what I'm stuck. And disappear. I disappear. I've done everything right. Soon I'll just vanish, sinking so deep that I'm likely to drown. I keep my head down, keep food on the shelf, keep paying for dreams I can't afford myself. Eyes from the sun, don't look any higher. I've only begun my sacrifice. 18 years old, trapped in a life under the ground. Pick up the slack, pull on my boots, push through a year. And disappear.
And finally, here is Delilah Jane Dunn singing Home from Beetlejuice. Judges, enjoy.
Nothingness ahead of me. Is this the end you meant for me? Every living minute, there's no home without you in it. I'm falling, quit stalling. Your daughter is calling your name. I've burned all my bridges and came. Mom, I don't want to forget you. I promise. I'm never gonna forget you. I'm gonna go back home. Adam, Barbara, Delia, and Dad. It's messy, but they're all that I have. I'll make the best of being flesh and bone. Mom, I'm going home. Yeah. Mom, I'm going home. Home. I'm going home. Mom, I'm going home.
Well, when we come back, we'll see if our judges decided to save one of our bottom three to move them in to battle it out with the top five.
Hi, my name is Michael Manerick. I'm going to teach you guys my philosophy on acting.
Hello friends, this is Mr. Drost with lesson 1.
Hello dancers, my name is Ted Keener and I'm one of the ballet teachers here at the Institute for American Musical Theater in New York City.
As in all things in life that are technical, having a solid foundation is super, super important.
Make sure your knees are nice and straight here and we're still standing up nice and tall.
I believe basically acting is taking your set of characteristics and putting them into a different set of circumstances and just being in that moment. And how would you and how would your soul and how would your breath react in that moment, knowing the characteristics of the circumstances.
You know, is singing easy? Not really, but we want it to be as easy as possible. And through this technique, you'll learn how to do that.
Gently place yourself on the knees are open, tailbone is under, exactly. Stretch and squeeze.
I want to take away the distraction of the world and teach you how to be in the moment. How to do the thing that you're doing while you're doing it.
Your range will increase as we do the exercises.
Bottom, point, and close it front.
You can just take a breath of fear, of guilt, of joy, of love, of sadness, of pain. This is all you need, right? This is it. It's your breath, it's your soul, it's your joy. It's your presence.
This is a secret that a lot of people don't know about.
That's what people want to see when you audition and when you do stuff on stage. They want to see your joy. So let's bring it out, okay?
Here we go.
We are back. Judges, have you decided to save someone from the bottom three to move them into the top five?
Yes, we have. We loved all the performances. It's been like an hour in deliberation. We've been back and forth over all of you. Really amazing stuff. Molly, you sound terrific. Sondheim, I mean, you killed it. Crazy. Delilah, you've got this rocker thing. I'm just coming in now, so I don't know your previous performances. Everybody was talking about your previous performances. Astounding. And Jack, you really know how to tell a story. I was so invested the whole time. And through much deliberation, we have landed on saving Jack. Jack is our going to be.
Yay, Jack!
Truly won me over, Jack. You really know how to tell a story. I'm waiting for more from you. And there's something in. I was watching you and I saw stuff that I found out about myself through your performance. Like this things I learned along the way. Owning that part of your voice that is rich and beautiful. There's a lower register stuff happening that I love, and there might be some songs out there that are great to tell stories in those lower registers. Baritones, awesome. It might be a stretch. Not a day goes by. It's got great storytelling and day after day, and it builds in this area. Da, da, da. Not a day goes by. Not a single. It's maybe a song you can think about. I don't know if that's if you've already done it, but there's more out there. Congratulations.
I love this. I want to thank you all for saving Jack. Now, we're in the top five now. This is the last 2 weeks are coming up. Would each of the judges give something succinct that each of these contestants should be looking forward to doing as we move into next week? Whoever wants to go first. I mean, Andy, you said about song, which I think is a really great thing, song choices as we move forward. Orfe, what would you say to our contestants who are moving on into the top five?
If you're asking us questions, we didn't hear any.
Oh, no one heard me?
No.
No, we heard. I hope you didn't need an answer.
Oh, yeah, because this is our closeout now. So I'm going to ask you each if you'd fine tune one thing like focus or songs or that sort of thing. Okay, so well, thank you, judges, for saving Jack and moving him forward. We're getting into the last 2 weeks of this competition. This is the top five, which will then move into the top three. Is there one specific thing that you each suggest to our contestants as they move forward of what they should focus on as we come into the finale? Jackie, let me start with you.
I would say do your homework. When you pick your song, do your homework, find out who you're talking to, what your as-ifs are, how you're feeling, how you feel about the other person, what you want. All do all that homework and then put it in your belly and leave it and just let fly and have the performance that you want. And don't judge it and just own it and live in it.
Beautiful. Orfe.
I'm so impressed. I continue to be impressed. I think that what I would love to see is more self-trust and just a calming and a centering before you actually start to sing the song. And like we've mentioned a lot during this episode, don't start at 10 because there's a long way to go. 2 minutes and 30 seconds is really a lifetime when you're listening to somebody sing. So just remember to start here, escalate, and really just trust yourself and somehow, some way corral those nerves.
Great. Ariel.
One thing I would say is to make sure that you can make the lyrics alive and make sure that every lyric is a response to what someone is saying. If you're talking to a person or even a thought in your own head, a response to yourself. So one thing you can do is write your lyrics out and for every lyric that you have, in between your lyrics, write out the words that the other person is saying that you're hearing or the thought that you're having in your head that you're responding to so that every line is a reaction or a response. It'll keep the whole thing very alive.
Beautiful. Kyle.
I would say you. That's what I want you guys to focus on next week, bringing yourselves to it. We've talked a lot about technique. We've talked a lot about nuance. We've talked a lot about heart. Now, what do these songs mean to you? And why are you the only person in the world who can sing them like this?
Beautiful. Andy, anything you'd like to add?
Everything that everybody said is absolutely beautiful. I think just, we're all talking about story here. As does an entire story of a musical, have an arc and an ending and a beginning and an ending, and where we grow and where we get to, and where we change to. Pay attention to each song has that same storytelling usually within it. So make it grow, build it, find the idea, and then realize it.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations to everyone who is moving on to the top 5. We'll be back next week on June 25th at 8 p.m. to announce who is making it into the top 3. And please join us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. with our college edition. And we'll be joined by our special guest judges, Orfe and Andy Carl. Everybody, judges, thank you so much. Have an incredible week, everybody.
Thank you, Richie.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
I love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night for the college edition, and we'll see everybody again next week for the high school. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.